A verdict has been reached in the case against a former La Mesa police officer charged with falsifying a police report following a controversial arrest. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
And I'm Jesse Pagan in for Marcella Lee. Matt Davis was acquitted of lying about what happened during the arrest of Amari Johnson near the Grossmont Trolley Station in May of 2020. That arrest contributed to community outrage and protests.
News 8's Heather Hope has more tonight on the jury's decision.
Former police officer Matthew Davis was all smiles when he left the courtroom today, elated at the not guilty verdict. Though not everyone was happy about that decision, Matthew Davis says he wants his old job back as a La Mesa police officer.
We, the jury in the above entitled cause, find the defendant, Matthew James Davis, not guilty of the crime.
It was a huge sigh of relief for former La Mesa police officer Matthew Davis in court.
Well, I think our client is relieved, and this has been a very, very long journey for him.
The jury spent just one day deliberating this case in an El Cajon courtroom before reaching the not guilty verdict for filing a false police report about the arrest of Amari Johnson.
What this case was about was whether or not he made misrepresentations in his police report, and he didn't.
A statement Davis reiterated while on the stand this week.
It is 100% accurate, yes ma'am.
Prosecutors say Davis lied when his report indicated Amari Johnson had been smoking on May 27, 2020 at a La Mesa trolley stop, but no smoking materials were found. Cell phone video showed the controversial arrest that later sparked protests and riots in La Mesa. Johnson took the stand last week.
He was putting his hands around my neck. He was grabbing me, just putting his hands on me.
While Davis attorneys call the entire case a political play, the Racial Justice Coalition says the not guilty verdict was typical.
This case shows us that even if your constitutional rights are being violated, it's okay if law enforcement is doing it.
Activist Yusef Miller says he feels the lack of diversity on the jury played a part in the decision.
It was obvious and palpable, you know, when you see that there's a lack of diversity on the jury.
Attorneys for Davis say he is now going through the legal process in court in order to become a police officer again.
He's got to move on with his life. You know, he still wants to be a police officer. He believes very, very strongly that he should be a police officer. He's a victim of politics, and he's fighting to get his job back.
Outside court, Davis, his family, and legal team celebrated the outcome. San Diego County District Attorney Summer Stephan says she respects the jury's decision, but still applauds the hard work that her attorneys on her team put in. Heather Hope, News 8.
Some lingering showers this morning, but we were dry the rest of the day when it came to the rain.
Yeah, enjoy the break while it lasts because even more rain is heading our way. Chief Meteorologist Carlene Chavis joins us early with when it's going to get here. Carlene.
And snow.
Ooh.
Snow in our local mountains. The first snowfall of the season expected on Tuesday. So we are dry right now for downtown, 55 degrees, a few passing clouds, but it's next week, especially as we go into the start of it, when we start to have the showers rolling in. They could be rolling in by the nighttime hours on Monday, but the bulk of the moisture is really expected on Tuesday. Heaviest rainfall will be in the afternoon and evening hours. Unfortunately, that is going to lead to some flood concerns, because we're talking about an atmospheric river event bringing up to about 2 inches of rain, and that's going to be west of the mountains. Also talking about up to about 4 inches in the mountains. When it does come to snow, that snow level is coming down. So this is going to be an impact for our local mountains as the snow level hits around 4,000 feet. About 4,000 to 5,000 feet and upwards of 4 inches of snow. Above 7,000 feet, because that's where it's going to initially start off, we're talking 2 feet. So a whole lot going on in that forecast on Tuesday. More details coming up. Jesse, Carlo.
See you in a few, Carlene. Thanks. Sandag voted in favor of a $160 billion regional transportation plan today, but the question remains tonight, how will they pay for it?
A 4 cents per mile tax is one idea on the table, and it has critics outraged. But Sandag says voters must approve the mileage tax before it's imposed, and that shouldn't come until sometime near 2030.
News 8's Kirsten Holmes is live tonight with more on that vote. Kirsten.
Hey guys, I'm here. I want you to take a look beside me. Traffic is moving. It's just a little bit after 6 o'clock, and it's trying to fix with that 30-year plan. Meanwhile, that 4 cents a mile tax we're talking about, sales tax that goes along with it, those were up for major debate this morning.
We must be willing to change now, even to sacrifice it if necessary.
how we get around to minimize the climate change impacts our children and grandchildren will face.
We will be ending up paying the majority of the gas tax because we have to drive.
Those are just some of the public comments from Friday morning's SANDAG board meeting considering the $160+ billion regional transportation plan that includes no-cost public transit and a 200-mile, $43 billion regional rail network. Supporters of the plan say it's about time.
It's time we build a transit system that is equitable, sustainable, and resilient. I support this plan because of the solid commitments to transportation and environmental justice, such as better access to job centers, safer streets, new and improved rail and buses, protected bike lanes, and free transit by 2030.
Critics of the plan say it simply won't work.
As a disabled student and worker, I would have to push myself in my wheelchair over 5 miles before I can reach my closest transit stop.
The item of contention is how to pay for it. Up for debate is a 4 cents a mile tax for drivers and a sales tax that even SANDAG board members didn't agree on. San Marcos Mayor Rebecca Jones is against the measure.
I cannot support a plan that has so many questions and does not show how the free transit will be implemented.
Meanwhile, National City Mayor Alejandro Sotelo Solis says her constituents could really use the help the rail and transit upgrades will provide.
How unfair it is to be on a trolley and a bus transfer, maybe 2 transfers, then walking with a case of water or a gallon of milk or a 5-pound sack of potatoes.
San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria says although he supports the overall plan,
that the inclusion of a road user charge is not necessary for this plan to be successful.
Now, San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria also filed a motion to find alternative ways to pay for this plan outside of that 4 cents a mile sales tax or that 4 cents a mile mileage tax that everybody has been talking about. So while SANDAG moves forward with the plan, they are looking for alternative ways to pay for it. Also, we got to let you know that they maintain that no taxes will be raised unless you, the voter, decide on those. And they say that this item wouldn't be on a ballot until somewhere around 2030. Back to you.
Now, Kirsten, we're talking a lot about taxes and money here. How much of the $160 billion plan will San Diego County taxpayers actually have to pay?
Yeah, good question. Okay, so they say with this ambitious plan, they're hoping to attract federal and state dollars to help pay for it so that hopefully San Diego County taxpayers would only have to maybe pay for half, if that much, but it's still up in the air right now.
All right, Kirsten Holmes following the mileage tax for us in every step of the way. Kirsten, thank you. The Supreme Court may be weighing in on the San Diego Unified School District's vaccine mandate. The family of a Scripps Ranch high school student filed an appeal with the court after the Ninth Circuit ruled in favor of the district late last month and lifted an emergency injunction last week. The Thomas More Society, who's representing the student, says she is facing religious discrimination because the COVID vaccine violates her beliefs. The court has given the school district until next Thursday to respond.
A second case of the Omicron COVID-19 variant has been confirmed in San Diego County. According to County Health, the latest case is a man in his 30s who's believed to have contracted the variant locally. That would make him the first community spread case of Omicron here. He's fully vaccinated with a booster shot and only suffered mild symptoms. Meantime, the CDC reports Omicron variant cases in 25 states now. Among the nearly 45 cases nationwide, only 1 person has been hospitalized. Health officials say most of the Omicron cases are among people who are fully vaccinated but have not yet received a booster shot. Another important point, at least 6 cases were reinfections.
Booster doses increased the neutralizing antibody titers by 25-fold compared to 2 doses against the Omicron variant. A striking endorsement of the importance of boosting.
Federal health officials say more data is needed before drawing any conclusions about the Omicron variant's transmissibility or severity. Meantime, COVID cases overall are on the rise. At least 42 states have reported increased hospitalizations in the past week.
News 8 is partnering with Feeding San Diego to make sure thousands of families have enough foods on their table this holiday season. Next week, several of us at KFMB will be volunteering at a drive-through food drive in Chula Vista.
Leading up to the event, we would like to highlight what Feeding San Diego is and the work they do. As News 8's Shannon Handy reports, volunteers are a big part of that.
During the holiday season, there's no shortage of volunteers here at Feeding San Diego, and that's crucial, especially when you consider just how big the need is. From making boxes to filling them with food and getting them where they need to go, ensuring local families don't go hungry this holiday season takes an all-hands-on-deck approach.
We last week packed close to 3,700 boxes.
Sam Duke is in charge of volunteers at Feeding San Diego. The charity partners with 300 organizations across the county to help distribute food to those in need, which currently is at an all-time high.
We have inflation, we have soaring gas prices, supply chain challenges. People are facing hunger for the first time.
Duke says meeting the increased demand is only possible through volunteers.
They're the heart and the muscle of what we do here. We do 3 shifts a day, 6 days a week, and we have about 40 volunteers in at one time.
Volunteers range from longtime helpers to ones doing it for the first time, like this group from Point Loma Nazarene University.
Everybody was so excited to help out here and be a part of this event today.
During the holidays, there are more than enough volunteers to go around. As we head into next year, Duke hopes that support will continue, saying when it comes to hunger, there's always a need for help.
We see a huge increase in volunteerism during the holidays, and then it does decrease January, February, even though hunger doesn't. So the need is still there to come out and support us.
If you're interested in volunteering or would like more information about Feeding San Diego, we have a link up on our website. Just go to cbs8.com and click on this story.
The drive-through food distribution will happen Friday, December 17th at the NICU Amphitheater in Chula Vista from 9:30 a.m. to noon. For more information or to find out how you can donate or help out, go to cbs8.com/community.